What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 34 of Hockey on the Spot. And well, the month of August is over. It is now September. Happy September, everybody. Tomorrow is Labor Day, and that means the 30 teams in 30 days is officially over. However, that does not mean the end for Hockey on the Spot. In fact, it means far from the end of Hockey on the Spot. Now we will actually start to get into some other topics. For today, we're going to talk about something similar to the 30 teams in 30 days, but more of a rumor type thing. There have been some rumors going on that some of you may have heard, some of you may have not, that I'd like to talk about today. And the rumors are the additions of new teams for the upcoming season. Not this upcoming season, but for 2014-2015. We've all heard the rumors. Well, maybe all of us have, maybe not. The rumors have been going on that there may be an addition of a team, of two additional teams, most likely in the Western Conference. One of them most definitely for the Western Conference, because one of the most definite locations would be Seattle, Washington, a team first in Seattle. We have not had a Seattle team in a major league since the early 1900s. The Seattle Metropolitans, a team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals twice and won the Stanley Cup once. So yes, a Stanley Cup has been in Seattle, but not in a very long time, and there hasn't been a team there in a very long time. In an era where only Canadian teams existed, the Seattle Metropolitans were the only American team. And now, I personally think bringing a team back to Seattle would actually be great for the NHL as far as expansion goes, expanding from a 30-team league to a 31 or 32-team league, however many teams there's going to be. Whether there is going to be a second team or not, it's looking like that there will most definitely be a Seattle team for the 2014-2015 season, and that they would most definitely play in the Pacific Division with the likes of the Anaheim Ducks, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, Phoenix Coyotes, San Jose Sharks, and Vancouver Canucks. So that I think would be good for the NHL, and for this reason, Seattle has always been a very popular city as far as sports goes. You have the Seattle Mariners in baseball. We used to have the Seattle Supersonics in basketball. So I definitely think adding a team for hockey would be amazing for the sport. And it definitely would create a much bigger fan base and much more competition, and it also helps to even out the conferences. As we know, the Eastern Conference has 16 teams, while the West only has 14 teams, so the West is definitely overdue for at least another team. Meanwhile, the second team that has been rumored has been a couple of different places. One place in particular has revolved around bringing a team back to Quebec City, and most specifically the Quebec Nordiques. We all know the NHL really found themselves in a bad situation when the Quebec Nordiques left and became the Colorado Avalanche. Now, obviously, who could deny the Colorado Avalanche? They became a very popular franchise, and they became an elite franchise for a while. They looked to have the makings of a dynasty from the late 1990s to the early 2000s. They were pretty much a dynasty team. It's like every single year, it seemed, they would win the Northwest Division. So, and of course, their first year in Colorado, they won the Stanley Cup. So, obviously it wasn't the worst move in the world for the franchise to make. However, it left a lot of fans in dismay. So definitely bringing back the Quebec Nordiques would definitely bring a lot of fans back to the sport of hockey. And it would really be interesting. But again, that's the only adding another Eastern Conference team, in which case to even things out, I think one team in the East would have to move back to the West. And in my opinion, it would most likely be the Detroit Red Wings. But you never know. Um, I just don't think it's a good idea, at least for right now, to bring a team back to Quebec. I think what would be better, though, is to bring a team back to the other city that has been rumored, Kansas City. We all know there hasn't been a team there since the Kansas City Scouts, who eventually moved to Colorado to become the Colorado Rockies, and then they eventually moved to New Jersey to become who we know of today as the New Jersey Devils. But I think bringing a team back to Kansas City, whether it is the Scouts or something else, that would also be good because it would increase fan morale and it would even out the conferences, especially if there is most definitely going to be a team in Seattle. And of course, that team would definitely be in the Central Division with the likes of the Chicago Blackhawks, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues, Winnipeg Jets, and Minnesota Wild. That would definitely be big for the National Hockey League, and I think it would be great. Expanding from a 30-team league to a 32-team league. The NFL did it. They also have a Seattle team, the Seattle Seahawks. Why can't the NHL do it? Why can't any other sport do it, for that matter? I think it would be great, honestly. That's why I'm really looking forward to the 2014-2015 season, but that, of course, is a wait because I'm really now anticipating the 2013-2014 season. So it promises to be a great year, though, regardless. Even though the conferences aren't even, I think it's going to be a great year. I'm really looking forward to it. Training camp starts in 11 days, people. September 11th, training camp. And then September 14th begins the preseason. So we're one step closer to the beginning of the regular season. But overall, I think adding teams to these areas, Seattle and Kansas City, would be great. Quebec City, I don't think the NHL is ready for that yet. But also, I think one day would be great to revive a team there. And also maybe a team in Hartford, Connecticut. A lot of people miss the Hartford Whalers. I think bringing a team like that back would also be great for the National Hockey League. But bringing a team back to Hartford and Quebec would definitely be a long shot. However, bringing a team to Seattle and back to Kansas City would definitely be more for the immediate, specifically Seattle, and it would be great for the National Hockey League. There's no question about that. Also want to quickly discuss another little rumors between the Buffalo Sabres and the Colorado Avalanche. Trade rumor between Paul Stastny, center, and goaltender Semyon Varlamov going to the Buffalo Sabres for veteran goaltender Ryan Miller. Honestly, I don't think that's going to happen, at least for right now, and I don't see it as much of a fair trade, to be honest. Ryan Miller's good, but he's getting on in his years. Varlamov is still young, so he still has a lot to prove. And then Paul Stastny, he just had one bad year. He gets his game back up, then that trade proves to be a big mistake by the Colorado Avalanche and a benefit for the Buffalo Sabres. And then, of course, all the Thomas Vanek trade rumors of where he's going to go. A lot of teams interested in him, but of course that'll depend on how well he does this season. So just wanted to touch upon that real quick. He'd be good for any team because of his offensive skills. Brings a great snipe shot to the table. Just wanted to bring that up real quick. I felt it definitely was necessary to bring up. Okay, guys, that'll do it for episode 34 of Hockey on the Spot. Join me again tomorrow. This has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. See you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.